Welcome to Before Floor, the pregame edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka Three Piece Combo. I'm joined one of the smartest dudes on the network, Mr. Marco_Romo. Follow that boy on Twitter for the best tweets out there. As well as make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe and follow the Five Reasons Sports Network. Not just on YouTube, but on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff as well. Now, we're playing the New York Knicks tonight. Obviously, heavy seeding implications, especially after taking a couple of losses over the last couple of games. You know what I mean? So, not really in the most, or didn't really set ourselves up to be in the best position going into tonight's game, but nonetheless, still an important game. Before we get into that, let's thank a couple of our sponsors, of course. We want to thank prizepicks.com because they're the best daily fantasy place around. You're going to use that promo code 5. We'll match your initial deposit up to $100. That way you can make some money when you want to work out, like when you want to when you want to gamble a little bit. So go to prizepicks.com. Like I said, use that promo code 5. We'll match your initial deposit up to $100. Now, we talk about Mark Brown all the time. We talk about estate planning. He does a lot of other stuff as well. So go to markbrownpa.com. That's marcbrownpa.com. Or give him a call, 954-866-8513. He'll also take care of all your real estate planning, all that real estate lawyer and all that good stuff as well. So he'll make sure that he takes care of all that for you. So like I said, Mark Brown, 954-866-8513, or give him a call or visit the website, marcbrownpa.com. So playing the New York Knicks tonight. This team has not made it easy to root for them. You know what I mean? Obviously, regardless, Heat fans till I die, right? But it's been really hard to expect this team to win, or maybe to put your hope into them and not get let down. So let's get to tonight's game. Obviously, the Knicks series this season has been a little bit of an odd one. You know, Randall had that crazy 3-1, and then we had the game afterwards as well, where Miami took care of business a little bit better. But what are some trends that you saw over the first couple of games of the Knicks that you think we should look out for going into tonight?
The Knicks are an actual good three-point shooting team, and Miami's been weirdly okay with them shooting a bunch of threes. Last game they were doubling Brunson and Randall a bunch. They really just were like, we're letting anybody else beat us, and that's what they almost did. The Knicks almost came back in that game, and on these other games they were also just letting everybody else kind of get the shots they wanted. Outside of that one game where Randall went off. But really, that's the one thing I'm keeping an eye on. How many threes is Miami going to give up? Because it feels like it's going to be at least 12, which is not good for Miami's defense, who is not, known to be consistent in terms of high scoring. I know after the All-Star break, they've been a good offense, but even still, you can't trust this team to be consistently good from any sort of aspect of the game outside of Jimmy Butler. He's a steady guy. We all know what we're getting from him, but outside of that's really the one thing I'm keeping an eye on. How many threes is Miami going to give up tonight? They had Brunson back. I think he missed a couple games here and there since that Miami game, but he's back tonight. So I expect that the Knicks offense to be good again. Their defense has not been good this year. Miami kind of exploited that last time. They scored any way they wanted. They had one of their best offensive games of the year. I don't know if it'll be like that again tonight. But yeah, that's the one thing I keep an eye on. Who's going to be the team that gives up the most threes? Because both these teams love to do that.
Yeah, and like you said, it's going to be they have a lot of new things to look out for going into this season. I think one of the things you have to look out for just for Miami overall is kind of what's been talked about recently is just the slowness of this team. And before, they were a slow team, but they were really good at moving the ball and finding a good shot and making and converting on those shots, right? Now it seems like the ball sticks a little bit more than before. Like, obviously different offenses and you're working out of a different scheme, but honestly, I kind of miss some Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo dribble handoffs. Like some of those buckets, like back in the couple of years ago, when this team was really just operating at high efficiency, regardless of what players you had. I think that's something that this team has been lacking. Maybe if that's like a mental thing, or maybe it's something that comes down to the court. But I saw Chef Truly posted today that the average player ranking is 15, and outside of Bam, Hero, and Jimmy, everybody else on this team is a sub-average player, which you can't have 13 or 12 below average players and expect to go very far in the playoffs. But let's get into today's prize picks. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that board and see what we got going on with the prizepicks.com. Like I said, make sure you guys use that promo code 5. That way we match your initial deposit up to $100 and you get some free money.
Last time against the Knicks, I think we went 4 for 4. We went Randall under, Jimmy over free throws. Bam, I think we went over on total points, and I forget what the last one was, but we had 4 for 4.
Yeah,
And with your flex
definitely.
picks, all you need is 3.
Exactly. That's the best part about it. The flex pick, you can just get three of them right, and you'll still make money. So that's the best part about it, in my opinion. I think that Jimmy Butler 8 free throws after having a day off yesterday. That's a lock. He's gonna have fresh legs. Um, what else are you liking on the board?
Ooh, can you pull up
Yeah,
Tyler's? I think Tyler
yeah,
was the other guy that we said was over last time.
yeah. We did go over 19 and a half. That's not too bad.
Honestly, I'm he's one of the younger guys, and on a back to back, I don't hate that. I think I'm gonna go over for that one. Mostly because of the young leg stuff, and I feel like he always played well against the Knicks. Knicks Twitter has pointed this out. He always seems to get up for the Knicks, which more props to him because we need anybody to kind of step up. And I guess his season averages against the Knicks are well over 20 points per game, so I feel like that's an easy over, as well as the Jimmy free throws, because I mean the dude on like rest like that, he's always gonna go hard. I think this is like 3 days rest now because he had the 2 days in between, and now the last game he didn't get to play in. Kyle Lowry's back, might be back tonight because he played last game, but they weren't expecting him to play tonight. But given Vincent's injury, it's kind of made that a little bit scary for them there, where they might have to just force him to play. Might get a lot of Victor Oladipo minutes. I don't think he's going to prize picks draft board, but no, I would stay away from that. The other guy I'm looking at is also Bam. I don't know if you have his rebounding numbers there.
Yeah, it's at 8, 7.5.
Eight.
Sorry, shit, not even 8.
Yeah, his averages post All Star break have been way down in terms of rebounding. He's rebounding like Miles Turner out there, which is sickening stuff for me and my agenda. Uh, but 7.5, man, there might not be a lot of misses tonight. Actually, Miami is on a back-to-back, so there might be a lot of offensive rebounds to be had. And 7 seems like a low number, so I'll reluctantly go over there. I think he's barely going to go over, and which makes me sad to say because he used to be, a double locked every night. But yeah, I think he barely goes over. But the fact that Miami's going to probably miss a lot of shots, he's going to give him a lot of chances tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like you said, I mean, I think he had 11 rebounds or 12 rebounds last game. He had a couple of stretches where his numbers weren't good, his defense wasn't good, and then I feel like over the last, not maybe last couple of weeks, but like he's had a stretch of games where even though he hasn't, we haven't won, but he's put up better numbers defensively. He's been better. He's kind of gotten back into that all-star, form that we saw previously. So let's get into some picks for tonight. Let's get into predictions. Marco, I'll let you start it off, and then I'll take us home.
I feel so much better about this game if Miami was at home because they're actual good team at home. Uh, I think they're 23-7, something like that. They're a good team at home. But other than that, I think on the road, this is a scary, scary proposition. My head says Knicks, and my money would say Knicks if I put any money on the games like that in terms of sports books outside of draft or prize picks, because that's way easier to just take players. But my heart is going to be with the Heat. I think it's going to be another close one because every Heat Knicks game has been a close game. It's not been a blowout by either team one way or the other. So I think it's a toss up. I'm surprised that I think the number that Vegas has the Knicks at is a 7-point favorite. That seems a little high to me, especially given that their games this year have all been close. So I definitely think Miami covers that. I know we're not getting into covers and all that, but yeah, I think Miami definitely covers. I think for them to win tonight, they really need another good Bam game because last night he was. Let's be honest, he was stuffing that stat sheet at the end of the game when it really wasn't mattering. Tyler, he had a good offensive game, but his defense again was bad, and guys like RJ Barrett have known to take advantage of that. So it's going to be about offense again for Miami, which sucks because we're so used to Miami being a defensive-minded team, but that's the only way they have been kind of putting these W's up on the board post All-Star break. So I think a good 3-point shooting night for them takes care of it, but I don't know how much I trust that. And I'm gonna go with the Heat, but I'll say like a 1-point win. But my head is gonna say Knicks by like 10.
Yeah, man, like I said, it's just been so hard to pick the Heat lately. I mean, you lose against Brooklyn. Raptors, honestly, I expected a little bit more, but that Brooklyn loss just really made it seem like, man, you had them essentially beat going into the second half, right? they were a seed below you, and now they have the tiebreaker. Now you're further behind the Knicks. Like the 5 seed is almost non-existent. 6 seed is your best case scenario. I think you got to get it done tonight. I'm going to pick Miami just because I feel like out of desperation, they'll maybe get it done. I mean, they haven't gotten it done out of desperation before, so I don't know what will change this time. But I do think Miami is going to be able to get it done. Can't tell you any concrete reason why because they haven't proven anything to me all season. So I'm just going to go off the gut feeling on that one, guys. So like I said, make sure you use that promo code 5 for the prize picks. Go to prizepicks.com, use that promo code 5. And go to markbrownpa.com. He'll take care of all your real estate and legal stuff as well. So thank you guys. As always, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you guys after the game on the postgame show. Let's go Heat.